All right. Welcome, Mastermind members. Weird kind of week this week because we have a mastermind call that is happening today and then another one on Friday. So we got a little confused and forgot to send out a notice until a little bit late. So welcome to all of you who managed to make it and join us. Good to
Oh,
see.
hello.
And we may or may not possibly have a new AI song from Mike.
Oh, no kidding. We also have a last minute hot seat request from Linda Rash originally. And
Hmm.
so if you're willing, we can do that as well. Let me rename myself. I got so confused that I logged in as you. Hold on.
He's very confused. Okay, cool. Art, welcome for spotting the email 10 minutes ago. You know why you spotted it 10 minutes ago? Because it only went out about 15 minutes ago. It was like, well, 45 minutes. So, oops. Well, we got some cool people and also some interesting real life ways of using AI to make work easier. So, Hubert, where do you want to start? You want to start with Linda or shall we start with some work or what do you want?
Well, I don't know. It's all good. Let's see. Is Linda here? Linda, are you around and are you willing to come on camera and give us your
Yes,
hot
she is.
seat situation?
Yep. All right, let's do it. Let's do that
All right.
first.
All right. Let's do
Linda's way
Linda
more
first.
important than some of these other people that we deal with, okay? I'm saying, and much better looking. So, all good.
Well, let's see.
Okay.
Okay. So,
All right. I see
ready?
some new folks on the line. Welcome.
Hey, there's Linda.
Hello,
Hello, Linda. Look at
hello.
you all bundled up. Looks like it must be cold where you are or something.
It is. We got snow yesterday.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
No,
Minnesota.
no, no. Linda's one of these North Country gals, originally.
Yeah.
She's no Florida type. You're up in the Minnesota area,
Yep,
Linda?
I am. St. Paul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cold up there. That's cold. I'm tired of cold. I'm ready. I'm ready for
All
no
right.
more
So,
cold.
Linda,
Forget about it.
give us the old background here. What are we doing? Oh,
Okay.
and by the way, Ridgely, you'll love this. The deadline is tomorrow on on what Linda needs to produce.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that I love that. Let's rock and roll, baby. Come on now.
I was just thinking this morning, and I'm a giver, mind type. So I woke up and I'm like, I really need to get better at asking for help. And here
Mhm.
we are. Isn't this great?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have been asked to write a chapter for a book. It's just 1,200 words, and it's on a topic that I paint about regularly. It's the power of vision, inspiring possibilities, and creating change. And it's really an anthology of change makers, and I'm one of them. And I think
Okay,
that's smart.
fantastic.
So this I have to write this chapter. I have a friend who is a book coach and a writer and an editor, and she helped me with an outline. So we've got some movements to this, but I've never done this before. So I've got this outline, and I have all sorts of pieces of art with messages that really enforce this topic. But I don't.
You were I just went like this.
There you go.
Oh,
That's good. Okay,
because
now
this,
originally
this,
I
this is
emailed
even
you.
hard.
Linda had sent me the outline, and so I emailed to you. I emailed it to you originally as a PDF. I don't know if you want to like. We haven't done one of the Ridgely's magic prompts in a long time, so maybe this could be good for that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that yeah, I mean, yeah, in GPT, should we go on OpenAI? We could do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think you should fire up your Chat GPT. I can't even talk. And then also take a look and share with everybody Linda's chapter outline. So,
Okay,
so
we
Linda,
can.
your chapter is to be how many words?
1,200. I have.
Okay, so originally her outline is way longer than the final product.
I
So
know. I know.
it-
I'm like, how do I
this
get
is
to
going to be
that?
one of these. I'm sorry, I apologize for the length of this letter. I didn't have time to make it shorter.
Well, it was a rough outline by my friend who knows the work that I do because she's involved in my course and the mastermind. But I didn't know how to take this and make it into something, right? Frankly, so.
I think it's the Visually, I don't know if you've ever used your magic prompt by uploading a file. This may be one of these cases where it's like, hey, upload this, take a look at this file I just uploaded and, help me distill it.
Yeah, and but before we jump into this, I want to just point out this is the kind of thing that AI is made for, right? When you tell me the assignment and it's due tomorrow, somebody says, "What do you have in this? Can you help me with this?" And you said due tomorrow, and then you told me the assignment. My initial reaction was, "Oh, that's not good. It's due tomorrow." But when you told me what the assignment was, I was like, Psh, "That's a piece of cake." I mean, that's nothing for AI. This is one of those what AI is built for. So for sure we can make this happen. But I love to use these kind of as teaching moments. So AI is this gigantic brain that didn't used to be that great at creative writing until recently, when each of the AI tools, from Gemini to Bard to Claude to OpenAI, ChatGPT, et cetera, have been leapfrogging each other, pouring tons of money in it to make this really work. So a situation like this, where we have a document, a thing, and want to convert it into something else, that for everybody that may be relatively new to this, that's exactly in the square in the wheelhouse of what AI can do without hardly any problem. I'm going to spend more time talking about the process than how long it takes to do, because I'm just going to go bing, 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 and it's going to be done. It literally is that fast. But we need to be thinking like this, like, oh, wow, AI can do this sort of thing really, really well. And this is the kind of one of those kind of no-brainers. So I'm going to open up my screen here. I'm in ChatGPT now. Hubert, you're suggesting that we need to, how do I pull that in? If I've got this file that you just sent me and it is downloaded.
Yep. So you have the PDF, right? So let's show everybody first the PDF. So open up the PDF and let's set the stage for everybody. So Linda, you had a friend produce for you this chapter outline, right? Your
Right.
friend, did she produce it using AI or she wrote this knowing you or
She wrote it knowing, well, my understanding is she wrote it knowing me. And then what's at the tail end of it is the Chat GPT version of it that's kind of skinny down that she had to edit quite a bit because she was really disappointed with how it interpreted the outline. So it's two segments there. One is hers and the other is a Chat GPT edit version that's been edited by
okay,
her.
great. Okay. And the objective is to create a stunningly awesome chapter that's 1,200 words. And 1,200 words is actually not very long at all, actually, for inclusion in a book.
Yeah.
And so the name of your chapter is The Power of Vision.
No, the book is The Power of Vision, and
Ah, okay.
we're
And
calling
your
this
chapter is called Vision is Not What You Think.
correct.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so originally that's the context. Now, originally, if you go back to the ChatGPT, it's become super easy to upload things. You hit the plus sign. See that leftmost plus sign? There you go. So you just hit upload from computer, and then you can send this document up. And ChatGPT, what's happening now, folks, is ChatGPT is ingesting it, parsing it, reading it, and then now based on that, it can um it can help Ridgely. Now, Ridgely, what I like to do when somebody seeks my help, rather than sit there and actually read it, not that 6 pages is too much to read, but you can just open up by saying, please summarize this document and whatever, and let it tell you. Because oftentimes, originally, what I find is that GPT's summary of it is actually more cogent than what the author intended when they actually wrote it in the first place. So that's up to you originally.
Well, let's take that even a little bit further. Here's what I know. Because I know how to use the tool, I don't even need to know what this chapter is about. I really don't.
Exactly.
I
Right.
absolutely don't need to know it at all. So for everybody that's out there, when you're working with a client or on a project or whatever, if you understand how to use AI, you can get way far down the road before you need to really think, because the tool can do a lot of the thinking for you. So, for example, I can do something like this without even using Ridgely's prompts. I can even make it like give the tool a role, then tell it to ask me questions to clarify, and then spit out something. And then we start from a baseline that we already have using the knowledge that the tool has. So I can, 1,200 words is very short. So that thing was like 19 pages or something. I don't need to read all that. I'm busy, right? So I'm going to say something like, you are an expert copywriter with deep knowledge of personal growth using art as a tool and direct response marketing. You have been charged with writing a chapter for a book titled The Power of Vision, right? That's it.
The name of the book is The Power of Vision. Inspiring
That
possibilities, creating change.
uh, inspiring, we'll keep that in there. Possibilities, creating change. The chapter needs to be 1,200 words, and the PDF download Tell me what this PDF download is, basically, just in your words.
It's a chapter outline.
Is a chapter outline.
As a starting point.
Ask me any questions you need about this assignment before proceeding. Now notice that although this may seem like a generic prompt, it reflects understanding how the tool actually works. So the tool needs how many number of words there are, it needs the source material, and it needs the role that it's playing. So now I'm going to say, okay, let's see what they say. Go from there. All right, here we go. So listen to how well ChatGPT has become friendly. Thanks for sharing the outline. It's beautifully structured and rich with feeling and insight. Before I dive into writing the full chapter, I'd love to ask you a few clarifying questions to make sure I'm fully aligned with your voice, intention, and audience. Great. So who's the ideal reader, Linda?
It is a change leader.
The ideal reader is a change leader. Who else?
Visionary. Obviously. Jeff.
Visionary, seeker,
Mhm.
uh,
Transfer,
artist,
transformational,
entrepreneurs,
yeah,
mix.
entrepreneurs, transformational leaders.
Uh, okay, what kind of spiritual language feels right to you? Grounded, mystical, poetic? What do you like?
I like a combination of grounded and mystical.
Make the language a combo of grounded and mystical
Or maybe with a mystical edge.
with an edge.
An edge of
Okay, and then do you want it more personal to you, more like a guide, inspiring thoughts? What are you thinking?
um, more personal to me. I have a method that I use to lead people through to connect to their vision as one outcome.
So you want it written in the first person?
I would like it to inspire. It's actually not clear to me, Ridgely, what position to stand in to write this. I don't want to come off as a know-it-all, but I am an expert in my method, and I'd like it to inspire people, obviously, to the possibilities, as the subtitle of this book suggests. So those are my initial thoughts. I welcome any others.
Um, okay, cool. Include a brief version for sure we want that for sure of the creative process. And I want to point out to everybody that I'm answering all these questions. I have no idea what the content is, no clue. So, which is like amazing. You want a general call to, yes, we do.
Mhm.
Yes, to a gentle CTA. Do you want them to do anything after reading this? Visit a site, take a workshop, do something?
Yeah, I'd like them to visit a site to learn more.
Send them to where?
Uh, Hubert, do we have a name for that domain? Should we just make one up that it would point to?
Well,
You could,
what is your main website domain?
lindarash.com.
Because you can always put up a message there to, welcome
There
them
we
and
go.
redirect them as you wish. That way it's not hard coded.
Perfect. Love it.
This going to be a printed book or is this an ebook?
It's a printed book.
Okay, so it will have, a long life being on people's bookshelves and so
Mhm,
forth.
mhm.
Right, I swear.
Well, at
Boom.
least it wasn't circus music.
Says, like this. Perfect. Thanks for the clarity. I have everything I need now. I'll write this in your voice, weaving together the sacred, the practical, and the personal with a dose of mystic edge. Give me a moment. Stay tuned. It's working. Now, I'm going to suggest that once we have this and we refine this a little bit, that we really strongly consider what the title should be to make it powerful.
Mhm.
Um, like edgy, catchy, something that might make us really want to do something with it. So
Right.
let's.
So then to tell us again what your working title is?
Vision is not what you think.
Mhm.
And the
See,
premise,
it just feels a little vanilla.
it
Uh,
does.
guys, I immediately went to vision ain't what you see,
So
right?
yeah, no, I'm totally with you, and I'm not offended by any suggestions, trust me. But what most of the time we think of vision, we think vision in. Sometimes we think it's something really big and out there. But for me, and my creative processes, it's really revealed in sort of like micro visions or like painting by painting, like something is profoundly revealing itself. So there's a period of revolution or revelation, or what I call revelation. So that's just a little background.
Good. There we go.
Folks, you notice how richly I had to prompt it. It went out for a pizza or something and forgot to do its work.
Vision is not what you think. Look at that. It came up with that from the content because we did not
Right.
put that in the prompt.
Mm-mm.
Uh, we often think of vision as something we see with our eyes, a fixed image, a destination, a perfectly wrapped plan. But it's my experience that most of them don't come from thinking, they come from listening.
Mhm.
Not a smart goal. It's a sacred whisper, a presence, a felt sense, and most importantly, it's not what you think.
Mhm.
Let it go to let it arrive. Da 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 da. You create the condition. This is freaking great.
Yeah, some of these are very direct content links, lifts from the document itself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
I
they
agree.
should
It's
be.
it's putting it together beautifully.
Visioning is a spiritual practice. That's how I commune with the unseen. Some people meditate, some pray. I paint. I let color, texture, and movement say the things words cannot. Look at that. This is what I teach others too. Vision unfold. It's a dance, not a destination. The practice that makes it possible. I have a 5-step process. Show up, set aside the outcome, listen, follow the thread, reflect. As I like to say, my job is not to make it be something. My job is to find out what it is. Vision as resonance,
Mhm.
vision as calling,
Mhm.
and then there you go.
Mhm.
How many words is this? My sense is this seems longer than 1,200 words, but maybe it's because it's nicely
Laid out. Look at
laid
this.
out in paragraph. Yeah.
I love this. If you're reading this, there's vision already alive in you. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe it's been buried under years of strategy and strive, but it's there. It doesn't need a plan. It needs space. Start messy. Stay open. Let your hands move. Let your heart listen. Expect clarity to come, but don't demand it. Above all, remember, vision is not something you create. Vision is something you listen to, something you love and to form, etc. Come find me at lindarash.com. I'll be there, paintbrush in hand, waiting for the next whisper.
Quite
Would you like
lyrical.
would you like a bio at the end, Linda?
Yes, yes, that is not included in there. And my
Please.
bio needs some work. Wait, it's in there. Wait. It is in there. Yeah, it's 100 to 120 words drafted in the.
Okay. Got that. And now, okay. So it's going to reprint all that, but let's just ask something. Um, can't, okay. First, we're going to thank the tool. Thank you. Can you now also suggest 5 alternative
Hmm.
titles to the piece, even if it means a little bit of a rewrite
Mm.
to the chapter itself. We want these alternatives to be edgy, catchy, and the kind of provocative title that makes someone instantly interested.
Yes,
Nice turn of phrase in that prompt there.
I love provocative.
Stop trying to see it. Let's start letting it find you. Your vision doesn't care about your to-do list. Vision isn't a goal, it's a frequency. You don't find vision, you fall into it. Burn the blueprint, make art instead. Look at the smile on your face.
There's a
What?
little bit of rebel in one of my tertiary mind types, I'm sure.
No doubt, right?
Yeah.
Which of these appeal to you?
Number one is probably, oh wait, vision doesn't care about your to-do list. That's kind of compelling. Stop trying to see it, start letting it find you. I would say
They're the other 3.
number four, you don't, I mean, I understand the alliteration a little bit, but you don't find a vision, um, you discover it. Wait, but that's not, no. I don't know, they're okay. I mean,
Which ones grab you at all?
number one is probably, but we don't think of vision as a to-do list, so I don't know if I would pick that one. I would say number one, letting it
Any
find.
of the others at all?
Yeah, I let number five is kind of.
Okay, watch this. Give me 5 more like 1 and 5. There's no need to overthink this, team. Like, this is why we have this incredible tool.
Ah,
Boom.
I'm hearing stop making it so hard, huh, Richley?
Also,
Great.
Richly used the trick there. If it's listing you a list with numbers, you don't have to go and copy and paste or reference it. Just say numbers 1 and 5 or whatever.
Create the space, not the plan. The vision isn't missing. You're just thinking too hard. Make a mess, find the message. Oh,
Mm, mm.
that's good,
That
man.
is really good.
I'm just saying, make a mess, find the message. That's really good.
I mean, fundamentally, I have a piece of art that had that message. Not like that, but it was saying it. Hmm.
So now watch this. Okay, great. Now rewrite the chapter based on 8. Again, here we go. It's rewriting.
Uh, this is really true. This is interesting. Hmm. Stop trying to be clear. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that good?
So
Isn't that
good. It's so good.
right?
I mean, paint to see. This is it. Yeah, it got it. Mm-hmm.
I don't make art, I make space.
Yep. I have a
I
painting
bet
that
you
had that
all the
message.
vision box. Look at this. I mean, this is like,
There's a whole bunch of little morsels for someone to pick out and chew on, huh?
for sure. Boom. I mean, this is just phenomenal stuff. And I'd like to point out that I wrote none of it. So
Yeah.
pick up the brush, scribble in your notebook, dance like an idiot, cry into clay, make a mess, and trust the message will find you. Come play with me at lindarash.com. I'll be there, paint streaked and wide open, waiting for my next mystery to move through.
Originally, just out of curiosity, ask it, what was the word count of these versions?
Yeah.
I just want to see
Okay.
if it's longer or shorter than the 1200.
Was the word count on this final version? Analyzing.
I think all that white space is getting us to think it's much longer, but it's
Yeah. But I mean, this is fantastic. How in the world could anybody think that they could write something like this good in 20 minutes? There's no way. See, I love this. I think this is actually really quite wonderful.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's saying it's reflecting the essence of it for sure. I'm noticing one of the submission requirements is that there's no extra blank lines between paragraphs. The cursor should not be able to rest on a blank line. Is that because they'll format it themselves, or are they really not wanting it to look like it's fluffy, potentially? I don't know. Because
Um,
the
I
white,
would, are you saying, Linda, those were instructions from,
the submission requirements, yeah, I'm just looking at them right now.
we
it's,
have a
look at
this
that,
is
originally, all of that, and it came to 933 words. There's room for more.
Yeah.
Unless ChatGPT doesn't know how to count.
let's expand this to the
And
12.
Linda, I would ignore that request because that seems unreasonable to me. No author would follow that request.
Yeah.
Literally, that request says submit one big giant blob of text without spacing.
Okay, so now, of course, because this is iterative, what's
Mm-hmm.
happening is it's going to come up with a new version. And now
Mm-hmm.
look what it did. Make a mess, find the message.
Uh-huh.
And now this final line of that was vision is not what you think.
Yeah.
It flip-flopped that around. Way more interesting.
Way more interesting.
Originally said something that's I think we all need to bear in mind. This is generative AI, so you're not going to get the same thing ever twice because it's generating it each time. And so these threads are important to save because you may prefer something from a previous version and it may not necessarily be in the final version. So all these versions are important. And so the editing and all of that is still on you at the end. But Linda, this gets you quite a bit ahead of the game.
It really does. I don't even know how I would have written this. I mean, I knew, I mean, I don't write with words. I
Now,
paint.
now give me the instructions for the submission
Yeah,
so
it's
we can produce it. Give me a version that what?
um okay, so two things. The chapter should be between 1,000 and 1,450 words, or the bio could be at least 50, but not more than 200. So either way, it doesn't exceed 1,500 words.
got that.
Some feedback, just to keep this in mind, Linda. Some
Yeah,
feedback from the chat from Bruce. He's saying that, and Bruce, thank you for this. Is
yeah,
helpful. Bruce says, I found that ChatGPT is not very accurate with word
yeah,
counts. So we're just
yeah.
gonna have to double check.
I'll double check that. Where I'm going to lift it and put it into a Word document. That was one of Teresa's questions. Um, and then so the format, the submission requirement, Ridgely, is the format is single spaced, Times New Roman, 12 point,
Mhm.
paragraph,
That you can change later. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
single spaced. The paragraph spacing, no extra blank lines between paragraphs. And in parentheses, they clarify the cursor should not be able to rest on a blank line.
I don't think we have to worry about that. Let's just
There's
see.
another really important criteria. Oops. Only one space between sentences, no double space. So I often double space, and it looks like they did too. So just a single space after the.
Let's see what we get. This says, um, and then output this also for us
Mhm.
as a .pdf, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Downloads already ready for you to download it right there.
And there's one other thing we're not supposed to for formatting, and I can do this manually, but just so you know, italics for emphasis, no bold caps or underlining,
Okay.
except for subheadings, which can be bolded.
No bold caps or underlining, right?
Mhm. Except for subheadings. Italics can be used for emphasis.
Originally, you know better than me, but in this day and age, these requirements are, I think,
I,
unnecessarily restrictive. These
I
are like
agree.
Hey,
ancient.
I'm just giving it to Linda, so she has everything she needs.
I so appreciate it, Ridgely. Thank you. I can go through manually, but at the last minute, this is not what I want to spend time doing either. So this is great.
I mean, just love to hear in the chat from everybody watching this. What do you get from something like that? Because literally, the entire piece was created without, in this case, the creator, myself, having any understanding whatsoever. Yes, I know Linda, and I love her work, and I know who she is and what she does, but I certainly had no idea what was in those 19 pages, and yet the output has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just pretty cool stuff, in my mind.
Dr. Art says, wow.
Yeah.
Uh, to answer Teresa's question about um, if the information is protected or if it's kept in their database, they claim now we're on the bleeding edge here, literally on the bleeding edge. So you cannot believe anything that you hear out there, okay?
Mm,
But it's ChatGPT, OpenAI, says that they do not take these chats as teaching materials or save them. Okay, whether or not you believe that, I don't know.
yeah,
Certainly, competitors to OpenAI are less restrictive that way, and they will grab your data. Certainly, if you're in a field where you shouldn't be putting this stuff out there, you cannot be using tools like this the way they are currently configured. What's the alternative? Some organizations or, some people, my son actually does this. You can actually download a complete AI system onto a local machine in your house and then run it, without it being connected to the internet. Okay, so there are alternatives if you're worried about that kind of thing. Okay, so Bruce is asking this. Originally says, I missed the start. Did you use a custom GPT or what was the prompt you used to start with? So Bruce, what we did is, as I recall, is we took a PDF that was supplied to us from Linda. We uploaded it into just a unprepped chat, and we said act as a copywriter and ask me questions. This was the key to Ridgely's prompt. Ridgely said, ask me questions that will help me write a chapter for a book. Okay, so it prompted with a series of questions, which Ridgely and Linda went through and answered, and based on that, they continued on the chat. Bill
Exactly.
Straubinger says, I'm ready to give it a try myself. Tim, good to see you, Tim. Long time no see. Will there be a replay of this? I will make sure to get one out.
Okay. So As you can see, that is done. And Linda, just to let you know, it is already in your inbox.
Thank you so much, Ridgely.
Fabulous.
May I just add one thing?
Uh-huh.
I want to show you because this is the painting that had that very message about let it get messy. And this is about like basically create indulgently and just let it come out. And this was the the one that had the message, the art that had the message.
Well, there you go. You gotta love that.
So
Uh,
Linda, thank you for joining the hot seat, Linda. And
Thank
you
you
know what your
so much.
you know what your reward is? Other than having a a written chapter for you, you get a specially dedicated artist joke. Are you ready?
Oh, good.
Okay. I
Yes.
have two actually. Linda, what kind of shoes do artists wear? Kind of shoes. Specific, I'll give you a hint. What kind of sneakers do artists wear? Come on, you know this.
uh, uh, I don't know.
Skechers.
Okay.
Originally, here's one for you, originally. Why did the art why
Terrible.
did the art thief's van, okay, this one's complex, originally. Put your problem solver hat on, okay? Why did the art thief's van run out of gas as he drove away from the museum? Okay, this one's a complicated one.
I
Okay,
have no idea.
because he had no Monet to buy the gas to make the van go.
That's good, actually. That's very clever. Okay.
That's the most
I love it.
complicated dad joke we've ever had on the
I love
Mastermind.
it. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
apologies to Degas for the mispronunciation. Mike Paul says not bad. Okay, Mike, get ready to show us what you've got, buddy. Here we
Hey,
go.
just an FYI, Linda, I also took the entire thread, downloaded it into a Google Doc, and just shared it with you. So you have not only the final PDF, but also the entire work output product. So,
Oh,
Thank
that's
you
awesome.
so very much. I appreciate you so much. That was brilliant. Thank you.
hey, it's due tomorrow, girl. We got to help you out.
Yeah.
There you
Let
go.
me know what I can do for you. I thought you were going to say that was the reward. I get to help you in some way.
No, your
Thank you.
reward was to suffer through the dad jokes.
Okay. Easy
All right,
peasy.
Dallas.
Thanks.
Love you. See you later. Thank you. Okay.
Great
Yeah,
job, Ridgely. Great job as usual. You are like Mr. Super Prompter.
dude, I just for some reason the concept that we always keep getting back to, Hubie, is helping people to think like the tool. If you can think like the tool, that's why I was like, I don't need to summarize this. I don't need to summarize it at all. I don't even know. I don't even need to know what it's about. Let's just get at it and have the tool do the work. It is such a simplifier. Like we have this one presentation that we're doing for our very old client team group, right? And I was thinking this morning, okay, I want to make sure everything's in sequence. So I sent them an email in sequence. And I was like, okay, so then I thought, all right, so it's got 8 or 9 divisions of this company that we're doing this presentation for. Maybe I'll ask them to get with each of the leaders of the division and give us a paragraph of what they think. And that took me about 40 seconds to say, that's the dumbest idea I've thought of in a really long time. It's going to take forever to get all those people to get back to me. It's going to cut into our ROI. No, I'm just going to go on ChatGPT and say, hey, based on what you know so far of everything we've got so far, give us a 1 paragraph per slide explanation of what this department does, input their website, and it'll be done in 11 seconds. That you know what I'm saying? So everybody that's out there, that's why this is so powerful. When you think like the tool, you don't have to work so hard. The output is so much faster. So, all right, we're bringing up Mike here. Come on, we see what he's got for us. I actually know already, but nobody else knows.
Ew,
So
okay. Well,
I got an
you got
email.
you got the inside scoop.
I did. So, oh man, awesome.
Hey, Mike, good to see
Oh
you,
yeah.
buddy.
Hey, hey. I missed you
Brother
guys.
Mike. How are you, dude? I was
Um,
reading your newsletter this morning. Thank you for that.
oh no, appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. So hey, a couple of things that of kind of interest. I mean, I'm always trying to stay on top of some of the latest and greatest in AI tools. And if you guys worked with the new image creation in ChatGPT,
just came out, right? The one that just came out.
It just came out, and I mean, I have had a field day. Let me see. Can I share my screen? Let's see.
Yeah, sure. Go for
Yes,
it.
sure.
Where am I here? What happened to Zoom? Hold on a second here. Share.
And folks, what Mike is referring to is ChatGPT's 4.0 model. That's the one that we really love for writing the doing the creative writing. Has recently upgraded its image generation capabilities, and everybody's all excited about it.
Yeah. So I started playing around with a number of things that I got to show you actually the latest. So today I wanted to create an action figurine kit,
Oh, that's great.
and
I
so
love that.
so my using the create, if you go here, create image, it's available. I think it's available with the free version now. I mean, I have the plus, but ChatGPT, I'm not sure, but I know it's available certainly with the plus that you can do
Yes,
these
and
now.
I'm told that it will be coming out to the free, but it's become so popular that they're having to throttle it because it's eating up so many cycles on their server farm.
Yeah, it's melting the chips, which is good because I own Nvidia stock, so buy more chips. But anyway, uh, the thing is that what's really interesting about this is generally when you create images and you want to make a change, it's generative, so it creates a totally different image. You can't get the same image twice, right?
Right.
That's been a big problem. And there are some platforms that you can deal with that. But what's interesting about this new version,
One second, Paul, just to catch everybody up to speed. Just scroll up so that people can see that you seeded this whole thing with, just like Ridgely did with a file. You started this conversation by uploading a real picture of yourself so that
right?
it would have something to
I
work
took
on.
I took a standard headshot, non AI enhanced,
Hmm.
maybe a few pounds lighter, and then I using the create image. I just said use the attached photo as a reference, and then I wanted to create in this case a hyper realistic action figure, and I just called it the complete morning kid. You can call it anything. I actually did something like the remote worker. There's a remote worker action figure too. Um, you know, remote.
Great.
Uh,
I
but
love
so let me go
That's
back.
great.
Let me go back to this. But what's interesting, so you reference a picture, so you can upload a stock photo. And I did some with my grandkids. I did it with a whole bunch of these things, and you just give it instructions what you want in there. So I said, figures male, confident, friendly expression, pose mid action, and I borrowed it from another prompt I did. So he acts as if he's troubleshooting a device or explaining tech to a client. I said, hey, dress him in a bathrobe. I put my initials, on the chest. I love coffee. I gotta have my morning coffee, so I'm holding my Starbucks coffee mug, and then it kind of describing what the packaging is, and then what I wanted to put inside the compartments, um, and then a couple other instructions here. But what happens is when you create it, so I this is just one iteration, and then I ran into some glitches when I was trying to make a change to this. I just did this while the beginning of your session here. However, so you can, I put in some accessories, so you can get creative and do whatever you want. But this is kind of fun, if you're doing marketing, you wanted to create something, do your, the essential dentist kit,
Right.
Right.
Sure, sure,
Exactly.
sure.
so it makes kind of a shorter version of me. I got a little shrunk here a little bit, but it took my picture. But what's interesting about any of these photos is that it stores a seed. It's called a seed. I don't know if people are familiar with that. A seed basically is, a specific address to an image that's created so that it can go back and reference that same image. What happens a lot of times when you do image creation is it just and you want to make a change, it generates a completely different image, and you may or may not get what you want, again. But with this new Chat 4.0 image model in here, you actually could just make subtle changes. So the best example of that, so anyway, it created this kit, my yogurt and bagel sandwich coffee. The remote I was trying to put over here, for some reason it stuck it there. But let me see if I can find, okay, not that one. Yeah, not that.
I
This
just
is,
I
by
just
the
want
way,
to I'm sorry. I'm so impressed by like what you're doing here, Mike. I just want to emphasize to everybody, Ridgely and I always talk about the power of a mastermind. All of us have some field or some interest of AI that we're particularly passionate about,
Hmm.
and use each other as resources. When Ridgely and I oftentimes go to Mike and say, Mike, what are you doing with, he did that with the song, and then now he's doing it with the image generation, with these product Pixar style things. Like, use your fellow mastermind members as
Yeah.
like a resource to get back up to speed. Because Mike did the trailblazing. We don't need to make the same mistakes that Mike did.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
mean,
great to share, because I'm in some Facebook groups. I share ideas, and, people share ideas, with everybody else. And I think it makes everybody better because you can take an idea and run with it and make some modifications. It's a picture of my grandson, school picture. And I just, very short prompt, create a 3D Pixar style image of the little boy in the attached photo. Make him look similar to the photo in body proportions, hair and skin color. He should look happy with a smiling face. And he loves rockets. He's into rockets and stuff. So I said, use a background of a rocket ship on a launch pad, and this is what it came up
Great.
with.
Wow. That's awesome. Great
But
work on
now,
what
that.
you
now
can
think
do,
about this, Mike. One thought. I'm watching this, and I, as a grandfather, am thinking, man, what a cool thing to do with your grandson or your granddaughter. Bring him into your office, into your computer, and say, hey, why don't, like my granddaughter, she loves the idea of being a ballerina. Hey, let's
Mhm.
take a picture of you and turn you into a ballerina. Would that be fun? She would love that. Are you kidding me? I'm a hero
Oh yeah,
doing that.
I shared this picture with my daughter. She showed it to him, and he laughed hysterically. He was, I mean, it looks like him, but I can make subtle changes. I could type in here, replace the background with a star field or something like that, and it will leave
Mhm.
everything the same and only make a change in what you request. So it's not redoing the entire image, which is really key a lot of times if you're trying to tweak and do things. My other grandson, or his brother, is 1 years old, and it actually took a car that I gave him for his birthday. When birthday, put him in there, and and this was the original picture.
Wow, great.
So I mean, you can have a lot of fun with this. You can use it for marketing, obviously, use it for personal things.
This would
So
be great for illustrating an email newsletter. It'd be great for it.
yeah, I create I'm using these now. I'm putting them in my posts because people love it. I did a hyper realistic one of my dog in the bed where she shouldn't be, and it made a ultra high realistic one of her. She looks good, and then a 3D Pixar style version
Yeah,
of.
that's great.
So yeah, so that's just some ideas. But if you haven't played around with the 4.0, take a look at it because it allows you to really tweak and get very granular as to what you want out of a photo. And here's the key: it spells correctly. I mean, before the prior version with Dolly, it was awful. I mean, I would use
Right.
Ideogram or one of those other platforms to try to get correct spelling. It just would not spell. It didn't know how to spell.
Yeah.
This thing,
So
every
this,
time I ask it to spell something, it's gotten it right. So it is definitely light years ahead of where they were. So, now it competes with, the mid journeys and
Mhm.
some of the other platforms out there that, were more advanced, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So, for entertainment, I'm just creating things. Take your photos, marketing yourself, have a little fun with it. Again, anything that can help create interest, and get people's attention. That's the key. I mean, right? We're all trying to get
right.
everyone's attention. So,
Well, and think about this. Okay, I just had a brilliant idea. Thanks to Mike Paul. Thank you very much, Mike Paul. Really appreciate you. Hubert, next time we
Yeah.
send out reports to our dentists, why don't we grab one of their headshots off the website and pop one of them as a Pixar avatar saying, hey, Dr. So-and-so, just want to send you this quick report. Oh, by the
Yes.
way, AI had some fun with you. Boom, ding,
Yes.
right?
That would be, yes, for engagement like that. That would be awesome.
by the
That's
way,
a
Um.
here's me as a Lego.
Oh, that's funny. That's great. Um.
All right.
Funny
Anyway,
comment. funny question for you from Dr. Art. Any limb problems? And folks, what Dr. Art's referring to is that, back when AI imagery started, you would
Right.
often get like crazy things like people would have tails or
Yeah.
three arms and stuff like that.
I have not seen that yet. I created a bunch of images, and I've had 4 fingers, and I've had 6 fingers, and I've had all kind of weird artifacts. So it has been a problem, but it is. I have not seen that yet. Now here's the kind of thing I was talking about. So first of all, it created this, and I didn't. It created it in yellow. I said, well, okay, I didn't like that. I said, here, no, it doesn't match. So I said, make the hands the same skin tone color as my face. Kept the same image, but then now I made it all yellow. I said, no, 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 you got it wrong. No, when you change it to light natural skin tone, not yellow, and then it got it right. But it left everything else the same. So that just raises all kind of opportunities to, to really get the kind of image that you're looking for without having to say, hey, I may not get the same look that I did the first time if I make a change. That seems to be a thing of the past, at least with this platform.
Right. Now, yes, so that consistency, that continuity was not always available. Now, folks, even so, once you get in a thread to something that you like, think beyond your current need and generate stuff in advance. Like stretch yourself a little bit and say, now make it in a running pose or whatever. Since it's got it right then and there, keep going with it, just for future use.
Yeah, so here's one of my girlfriend's grandkids, and here we go.
Mhm.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was one thing. The other thing is I enjoy doing songs, and so and you're all about. Let me move this over here real quick. You're all about. I'll just maybe play a few seconds of this thing, but
Well, give us
you're
some
all.
background. So
Hold on a second, if you don't
let me
mind.
see.
I mean,
No, no, not at all. We always love to
so
hear what you're up to.
yeah, so here's the thing. So I was asked to create a video, and so there was a separate video that we did with interviews and whatnot. This is a local nonprofit that is involved with helping erase the stigma of mental illness, particularly on young people. It was formed when it's a neighbor of mine, and the best friend of their daughter committed suicide. He was an all-star football player, a cadet at Texas A&M, went into a spiral and committed suicide. Just shocking. So they formed a foundation to help, erase the stigma of mental health and provide resources and communication to people, especially young people. So they do this. They started this foundation 5 years ago. So they wanted to do a video, and then they asked Jelly Roll, the musician Jelly Roll, who has a song "It's Okay to Not Be Okay," right? A lot of people are probably familiar with him. Um, and they wanted, to see if they could use his song, but he didn't respond back, unfortunately. So I said, hey, you know what? I just happen to be able to write music using AI.
Great.
Let me get. I ran the PAF brain. So I took their their information on their foundation from their website. I created a bunch of documents for them trying to get some messaging, which I used for the video. But then using ChatGPT, I said, let me create a song that will tug at the heartstring, and we can play it at, they're fun. It's a big fundraiser. They have a couple hundred people at this thing, a lot of local people. And let's see if we can, turn this into something emotional that will motivate people to help support the work that the foundation does. So we wrote the lyrics. I made a few tweaks and things in there, and then using a platform called aimusic.so, which I think uses the Suno, which is another big music generator platform. But I used that platform, aimusic.so, and I created a number of iterations till I got what I wanted. And I'm just going to play a little bit of this. When I played this for my sister, she got blown away. She says, "Dad, I give you a Grammy for this thing." She says, "This is on my playlist." But just
Great.
to take a listen for a little bit. And these are the kind of things that you can use AI for in all kind of different ways that you maybe even haven't even thought of. But let me just play this for just a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure, please.
You hear?
In the halls of school where echoes stay, behind bright eyes Together we'll lift them off the ground. It's time
Great.
to speak, time to hear. We can be the ones to
30 seconds.
clear the fear. We'll shatter the silence, let the truth ring clear. Stand beside each other, wipe away the tears. Holding young hearts through the darkest night.
So I'll skip to, so
awesome.
when and towards the end, we talk about the foundation, bring them in.
Engage and heal, foundation standing tall. Together we're stronger, together we call.
So, it's a 4-minute song. You got a rousing applause. It just was really an emotional song. And then they raised quite a bit of money in the live auction, after along with
Right.
Right. That's just great. I
it.
mean,
That's
it's
great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll stop my share now. Hold on a sec.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's wonderful.
So for the tremendously warped people on this call like myself, seeing that, I'm immediately going to find a really nice picture of my beautiful wife, and I'm going to play with that thing and create a Pixar model of her down at the beach looking hotty toddy and send it to her with a big "I love you." Right? I mean, why not when it's that easy? I'm just
Well,
saying.
well, and the thing is, my girlfriend who just got a job at a new pickleball facility. She's very athletic. I did one to her. She came. She goes, "Oh, I don't like that. I look too fat." I said, "Okay, let me see what I can do. I'll work on that." And so, again, just made a few changes. It's a little slender. Blah blah blah. It came up with a perfect version, and it looks fantastic. And now she can use that. She put it on her Facebook page as her profile, and she's holding up
Yeah,
brackets
right.
and
I'm just saying,
the
the
whole
tool is
thing.
so much fun. And as we all we've been talking about for many, many months now, uh, it's not that AI is going to replace jobs. It's people, it's AI is going to people that know how to use AI are going to replace your job. So please think like you got to learn this tool, man. Think of what Mike did in such a short amount of time, what we did in such a short amount of time. There's just no way you can do that yourself. And if you don't learn how to use this tool, you're just going to fall behind. So, Mike, thank you very much for sharing, brother. Really appreciate you. And thanks for turning everybody on to the new ChatGPT tool. That is very cool. If I can't figure out how to do this myself, I'm going to ping you.
Great. And Mike, your reward is one of my favorite jokes. One of my favorite jokes of all time. Okay, you can tell this one to your grandkids. Okay, here we go. Ready? Why did the kid cross the playground? Why did the kid cross the playground?
Mm.
To get to the other slide.
Okay, that was pretty good, actually. That's better than
That's a
usual.
winner.
And just to say, tomorrow's April Fool's Day. Not to do those are the people that are connected with me. You might see a interesting story that may come out, which could have been something you might want to generate on ChatGPT or one of the other platforms to see the creativity.
I'm loving it already. Can't wait, brother. All right, everybody. Just to let you know, as we mentioned earlier, the weird scheduling this week, but we are back together again this coming Friday, just 4 days away at 4 o'clock Eastern and the 1 o'clock Pacific. Again, this coming Friday, the 4th, we will be back together doing some work. If you have some stuff you need to get done, please ping us ahead of time. And yeah, we'll have some updates from all of Mike's fun stuff. We appreciate it. All right,
And
guys.
Ridgely, I have a real beauty to close it out on for you.
I
Okay.
was
This one's
trying to, Mike, I was trying to escape, but I can't.
no. This one is a gem, guys. This one's a gem. Because I know you both are, literarily inclined in your writers and all of that. Okay, now. Ridgely and Mike, why can't you hear a pterodactyl in the bathroom? This one's good. Okay. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl in the bathroom?
Okay.
Because the P is silent. That is so good.
That's just terrible. Oh my God. All right, Mike, thanks again. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Can you meet me on my channel, please? And we'll see you guys on Friday. Bye, everybody. Ciao for now. Oh my gosh.